Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, distinguished guests, esteemed viewers joining us from across Nigeria and the world. I am absolutely delighted to welcome you as you join us for what promises to be a meaningful and inspiring discussion. My name is Comfort Eyitayo, your regular host with Comfort Connect with Comfort show. On this program, we aim to add value to people and enterprise as well as personal growth. Each show is organized to feature special guests who are subject matter experts on the topic of the day. They help us to throw more insights on the topic. Once again, I say welcome. Today's topic is powerful and timely, and that is leadership beyond titles. How everyday Nigerians can lead through influence and integrity. In many societies, including ours, leadership is often associated with positions, titles, authority. People sometimes believe you must be a CEO, a politician, a pastor, or a senior executive before you can lead. But the truth is, leadership is not defined by title. Leadership is defined by influence, responsibility, and character. Every day across the world, we have people leading in their own sphere of influence without necessarily holding an official title. A teacher, for instance, guiding young minds is leading. A trader mentoring younger entrepreneurs is also a leader. A civil servant refusing to collect bribes or encourage corruption is also leading. A young professional choosing integrity over shortcuts is also leading. These individuals may not carry grand titles, but they are leaders in the truest sense of the word. And that is what today's conversation is about. Before we go into the interview segment, let's just take a moment to reflect on the leadership challenges we often talk about in our society. We frequently hear the statements such as Nigeria needs better leaders. Another one is our systems are failing because of poor leadership. Or some would say, if only the right people are in power. While these concerns may be valid, there's another important truth we must also recognize. The future of a nation is not shaped only by those at the top. It is shaped by values and actions of everyday citizens. So to that extent, we cannot ascribe everything that goes wrong with leaders alone. When integrity becomes a personal standard like we used to have in those good old days. When responsibility becomes a daily practice, when influence is used positively, leadership begins to spread through the entire society. That is why today we are discussing leadership beyond titles, because the Nigeria we desire will not only be built by presidents, governors, it will also be built by ethical accountants, honest business owners, responsible civil servants, principled young professionals, and everyday citizens who choose to do the right thing. We already have our special guest in the house who will help us to dissect all these important areas of leadership beyond titles. We will beckon on him shortly after this time out. Please remain connected. We'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, I guess that's the shortest time out break we had. That's okay. So we are the segment where we now introduce. You are welcome back. As I was saying, we are the segment where we introduce our special guests for today. Our special guest for today is no other than Pastor Ambassador Dr. Olumuyiwa Yemi Oyeniyi. He is a chartered accountant and forensic auditor, enterprise developer, institutional reformer, and management expert. He has worked in the private sector as a banker and also in the civil service before setting up his own enterprise. He is the managing director of Consult and Capital Limited, a firm of financial advisors and management consultants. He has consulted for various organizations such as the UK Department for International Development, DFID, United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, Education Trust Fund, ETF, Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Police Affairs, Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Agencies of Nigeria, that's MEDAN, and others. He is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, fellow of Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria, CITN, fellow of Institute of Corporate Administration of Nigeria, ICA, fellow of African Institute for Applied Economics and associate member of Nigeria Institute of Management (NIM). He is a fellow of Artificial Intelligence Management and Financial Institute and a United Nations Ambassador for Peace. He runs the accounting firm of OY Oyeniyi and Co. Chartered Accountants, engaging in audits and tax practices. He is a successful personal person in the finance and accountancy profession as well as in business. He is very active in the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and has been district officer of the Abuja and District Society of the Institute. He is currently the vice chairman, in fact, the pioneer vice chairman of Lugbe and District Society of the Institute. With his wealth of experience, he is currently the pro-chancellor of Landmark University based in Umuaran, Kwara State. A devout Christian, Pastor Olumuyiwa Yemi Oyeniyi is a senior pastor with Living Faith Church, Goshen, Abuja. He is married to Olayemi Olamide Oyeniyi and they are blessed with children. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome on today's Connect with Comfort show our special guest that will help us to explore all that we have mentioned before about this unique title, the topic. Please join me in making welcome our guest for today, a respected professional and leadership advocate who has spent years mentoring young professionals and promoting ethical leadership. You are welcome, Pastor Ambassador Dr. Olumuyiwa Yemi Oyeniyi. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you for sparing time on this beautiful Sunday evening to share your experience with our viewers. Thank you very much. You are most welcome.
Thank you very much, Ma. I'm delighted to be here. And I say happy Modern Sunday to all our women viewers. And I welcome all the
Indeed.
viewers as well.
Thank you very much. Happy Modern Sunday to all our viewers. Thank you very much. I had a joke with him that I said some of us are lucky because we get to have this greeting twice in the year as a Baptist. And usually the American style is Modern Sunday is May. They do Mother Sunday in May, while UK, Europe have a Modern Sunday in March. So some of us are lucky we get greeted twice.
That's
So
great.
happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. So we go straight to our segment. When people hear leadership, the word leadership, they often think of position, titles, authority. From your own perspective, what does leadership beyond title truly mean?
Thank you very much, Ma. Um, Leadership isn't about title or position. It's about influence and integrity. Leadership beyond title means leading without needing a formal position or authority. It's about impacting life through your actions and presence, and that is influence. Bringing influence upon the life of people by your presence and by your actions. Taking initiative, that is, taking charge and driving change. Taking responsibility for your actions and stepping out, owning your outcomes, owning the outcomes, and leading by example. Leading by example, inspiring others through your behavior and your values. That's what I
Fantastic.
think.
That is where, yeah, that is where rounded. It encompasses all the values that we believe leaders should possess. Thank you very much for that answer. So, what are the key characteristics, some you have mentioned, that distinguishes true leaders from positional authority? That is, those who are in a position of authority, naturally seen as leaders. The, the distinguishing characteristic between those two categories of leaders.
We often mistake positional authority as a leadership. To me, it is not. True leadership is influence over people, inspiring and motivating people. True leadership is purpose driven. That means it focuses on shared values and goals. It shows empathy and understanding. It relates with people on a human level, and it creates self-awareness. That means recognizing strength and weakness of the people you are leading and their emotions, and then displaying accountability. That is true leadership. That is giving them feedback. But a positional authority has power over the people. It prioritizes hierarchy and title, is more or less rude focus, and it distance itself from the people it's leading. It set up a command structure. And another thing is, instead of giving feedback and taking accountability, it shifts blame. Is always looking at the other side, blaming the other people. You give responsibility without authority. That is positional authority. And that's the
Thank you.
difference between true leadership and positional authority.
Thank you very much. One thing that is instructive that you mentioned is that true leadership is purpose driven and cherishes feedback as well as accountability. If you are a true leader, you will hold yourself accountable to people, and it's not like forcing that leadership on people. It's something that comes natural. People see you as a natural leader because of what you do, and that is the example that you mentioned, that you have to lead by example, do what you think, what you preach to people. Thank you very much for that feedback. So, why do you think many people underestimate their own ability to lead simply because they think I do not have a formal leadership position of authority? Why do people not naturally underestimate themselves?
Yes, I think their position might stem from the fact that society always accord respect to people who have positional authority. But in our own sphere, we could contribute meaningfully to leadership and to growth of the community, the society, and even the nation by chesting out, that means owning up, taking initiative, and connecting with people by impacting them, influencing them through integrity. So people always tend to look at positional authority only because it is the perception of the society that that is where authority and where leadership lies, but it is not the case.
Thank you very much. In that wise, how can professionals lead through expertise and competence rather than authority?
Thank you very much. Professionals have ethics, so professionals should stick with their ethics and discipline and be focused. They should ensure that, like in ICANN, if I may just make that example, is accuracy. The motto is accuracy and integrity. You know, once your integrity is shaken, once you cannot provide accuracy, then you cannot maintain professional diligence. And to maintain the professional diligence, you have to stick with your professional ethics. In anywhere you find yourself as a professional, just ensure you do the right thing, whether somebody is there looking at you or not.
Thank you very much. So, with the competence and the expertise underpinned by the integrities and the integrity and the rules, the ethics of the profession, they'll be able to rule without or lead without authority. Thank you very much. So why? Because we talk about this integrity a lot because it matters so much in the conversation. So why is integrity often described as the foundation of sustainable leadership?
Thank you very much, ma. Integrity is the action you take, what you do, what people see you do. It's not what they hear you say. So it forms the foundation of what uh, we will talk about as sustainable leadership. Because one people wants to see you do what you say should be done. That means do what you say and not otherwise. So once you are not doing what you say or you cannot deliver on what you promise, leadership becomes compromise. So integrity is the action you take differing from the character, but the action that you take and people can see on daily basis is the foundation of a true leadership.
Thank you very much. So integrity is important, it's action based, it's not so much of word based, and the consistency in it. People can count on your words. People can count on you when you give promise, and then they know that regardless of who is watching, you are determined, you are disciplined to do the right thing. So definitely with that, it's understood how it becomes a foundation, a foundational thing for sustainable leadership. If you want to continue to lead and lead well, that is definitely a good foundation for us to to look at. Now, in a society where ethical compromises sometimes appear normalized, how can individuals maintain integrity without authority? Because we've talked about how important this integrity is. And then we already know what obtains in our society now, the compromise, the shortcuts, and all that. So, how can individuals maintain that integrity, which is foundational, without necessarily having the power of authority to push yourself through?
Thank you very much. I think the best way to look at this is for you to know what you want to do, to be focused, to be disciplined. If you are disciplined, you will maintain your integrity no matter how hard it is. At times, it will be tough for you. And I always say something: word is a seed. And as we said, integrity is about action. So when you speak out, when you act out, it doesn't mean that immediately your word or your action should be taken or we see result, but at least you know that with consistency, with persistency, people will begin to look at your side as being the right value, the right moral, and the right ethics within a system, whether being a community, whether being a society, whether being in a nation. So you just have to be disciplined and maintain focus. That is very essential for you to be able to maintain your integrity.
Thank you very much. Discipline, and that boils down to personal character. Personal character values that you have imbibed as a person that will fuel your uh, actions, the type of actions you take, the type of things you do, and definitely it will determine the level of your integrity. Thank you very much.
Let me
Now,
just add to that that
okay,
character is the number one value,
yeah,
is
the
the number
basis,
one
yes,
asset of life. Because if
yes.
you lose money, you lose something. If you lose your health, you lose something. But once you lose your character, you lose everything. So thank you for that additional.
I hear you. Thank you very much. So, with that said, all of us are now on a good page for what we believe integrity stands for. Excuse me. Can influence, which we have described as part of the characteristics for good leadership, can influence without integrity be considered leadership? If so, why? And if not, why not?
Thank you. I don't see how somebody can lead successfully, consistently without integrity because people will soon find out who you are truly. Lies can go on for 20 years, but truth will unravel it within a short period. So once you are leading, you must lead with integrity. Let your word be yea and nay. If you begin to deceive people by influencing them through another means without integrity, it cannot, it will soon be discovered because integrity allows you to lead by building relationship with people, sharing knowledge and skill and your expertise with the people. But if you don't have all this, you cannot inspire them, you will soon lose them. You will not they will not be available for you to lead. And that's it will just crumble like a pack of cards. So you need integrity to be in true leadership.
Thank you very much for that response. So we are mindful that definitely integrity is necessary to maintain that influence that will help us to lead when we are looking at leading without authority. Now, how can someone demonstrate leadership at work even without managerial title?
Yeah, thank you very much. Uh, One very key aspect is taking initiative. And what I mean by taking initiative is you don't need to have the power to act before you act. You see something that needs attention, you take charge, you provide the necessary leadership to ensure that such things are done. Even when the leader is not there, no, you are not waiting. You key in into it, and then you begin to do what is right. And in some cases, you will see that that will lead to your promotion. I've seen instances, and I've gone through instances in my early days as a banker, that things were proving difficult. My manager, my deputy manager were not available to handle the situation, and I just stepped in. And a day before, or the next day, will be a board meeting, only for the managing director to call and find it was only me and one of my colleagues that were at work. Our manager and the deputy manager have left. And what happened? It led to recognition, and I will say it led to promotion, because we took up the initiative to do what is necessary to make sure that that meeting held. So initiative is critical, and taking responsibility is critical. And also, you have to clearly, as we said earlier, define the goal that you are trying to achieve. It is for the benefit of the organization and not for your own personal benefit.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So that means we do not necessarily have to be in a position of authority before we can act or we can lead. And everything has its benefit, like as guest, special guests have told us that. That's even that typical example end in promotion. And if he does not take that initiative to lead and not necessarily fold his hand that because the natural leader was not there, things can fall by the wayside. So we should always, in our different corner, aim to lead and not necessarily wait until we get the title or authority. Thank you. Thank you very much. In your view, what habits or character traits make people naturally trust and follow someone, even when that person has no official authority?
Well, one very key thing, and which we have been emphasizing, is discipline. If you are disciplined, if people can predict what you will do, they will rightly follow you. Another thing is being transparent. If you are transparent and people know that you are honest with your words and your action, they will definitely follow you. Another one is taking ownership. I mean, you acknowledge your mistake openly and learn from them. And then you stand for something. Another says, if you don't stand for anything, you will fall for everything. So you must stand, people must know you for something. like our host today, when anybody sees you, they see an accountant. They know that this is what you stand for, and they know you as an entrepreneur. So these are the things that will make good examples of character traits. And trust with respect also. There must be trust and respect for others. Be kind, be fair, and be compassionate. Those are the traits of good
Very
leaders.
good. Very, very good. Because you've actually mentioned it, how people will continue to follow or be willing to follow even when there is no position of authority, when they can trust you, when they know you are consistent, you are a man or woman of your word, and they know you are honest. You are honest. Honesty enhances their trust in you, of course, and they know they can always count on you. You are always there, and what you preach is what you do. So many of those traits are what can make people follow you, regardless of presence of authority or absence of faith. So they don't really need for you to have a title before they follow you, because they you command their respect through what you do, through your total being. And honesty, transparency, trust is very, very important in that scenario. Thank you very much. So what role can everyday citizen play in promoting accountability and responsible governance?
Well, every citizen has a role to play, either in your community, in the society, in your profession, or in the nation. You can start with community work. You lead initiative that benefits the neighborhood or the community. Every area has community development association. You can join one. There are no governmental associations. You can join one. There are so many areas where you can, like, for example, in this nation, that the government cannot do everything for us. So community development association is one area where you can really make meaningful impact. And NGOs, I can, like I said earlier, the Federal Road Safety Corps is as an NGO, like the Special Marshal. They control traffics and they do enlightenment to guide the citizens for road safety. So that those are areas you can do. You have chambers of commerce that give advice to government on various fields. When we were younger, the Boy Scout, the Boys Brigade, they teach us a lot about community work. And then another thing is mentorship. Mentorship, guiding others in their personal and professional work. And I know our hosts here do a lot of that. Mentoring others, the younger ones, contribute a lot to everyday leadership and that a citizen can undertake. And speaking of, use your voice to address issues that really matters. Speaking of, don't keep quiet. When things are wrong, don't keep quiet. When things are right, don't keep quiet. Speak up for things that really matter.
Thank you very much. That's last point. We need to speak up. Yes, when things are right, commendation, and when things are wrong, we should point it out respectfully so that there can be correction. Not don't just sit on the fence. Thank you for those examples of area where we can show leaderships as everyday Nigerian in the community, in faith-based organization, and all other areas that we um, align with, so that we can also contribute our own quota, not necessarily when we are minister this or governor that and this and that. So so many things we can do to also contribute to development and better living for ourselves. Now, with the example you have given about what people can do, which I'm sure we have not even exhausted that list, what are the biggest obstacles you have noticed that prevent ordinary people from stepping into leadership through their own influence?
I think the greatest obstacle for the majority of people is that money plays so many roles in influencing people in our society. And that I can say is in short supply for many people. Our society also value title more than anything. So if you are not carrying title, you need a lot to do to be able to influence people. But as I always say, if you have the money, contribute you don't have to be everywhere. You can be generous. You can contribute your own quota by sending your money on errand. And if you have the time, contribute your time. But the issues of life, what people are running after and what is running after them, they will want to focus on their own life first before contributing to the life of others, which doesn't really go well. You can do both side by side. So I would not want to say poverty directly like that, lack of education, but because of the premium our society places on authority, positional authority, it hinders people from taking up position of leadership without title.
Thank you very much. So, without authority, people are not likely to take you serious, or even where you are ready to devote time or contribute your resources, or maybe in mentorship and things like that, because you don't have that attractive position. People may not be willing to even listen to you in the first instance. I can identify with that. It's unfortunate, but that's part of the thing that is plaguing our society. You rightly mentioned some money issue, because sometimes you even have to use money indirectly, begging people before they can listen to you. Even if you run a program you say is free, until maybe you attach some pesticides or fringe benefit again, that people are likely to turn up for something that is supposed to impact their life positively. God will help us. You said we should not talk of of poverty, but I don't know what else could be ascribed to such a situation. But that's the kind of thing that sometimes put people off, because they feel perhaps the effort will not be appreciated, or it can just go in futility, and they rather not waste their time. But I think we should just do our own bit, regardless if it's appreciated, regardless. It's like that sower, so many seeds. It's not all the seeds that germinate, but the few that germinate, uh, would actually make it worthwhile in the end. So just let's contribute our small quota in our different areas of influence and see the impact we can make, either is appreciated or not. That's a different thing because that's not the main purpose of doing it in the first instance. And if we all contribute in our different quotas in our different sphere of influence, definitely it will make the society better by the time it goes round like that. So, what advice would you give to a young Nigerian who wants to become a leader of impact, but still feel is in his early stage in the journey?
Thank you, Ma. I mentioned earlier on that when we were younger, we joined Boy Scouts, Boys Brigade. In the university days, it was a Leo and Rotary. So you start small, begin with small leadership opportunities in your daily life. Just start small, start finding your own sphere, identify areas where you can make a positive impact. Be generous. If you have money, resources, contribute it to any meaningful initiative. You are starting something. Send your money on errand if you cannot be present. Let your money speak for you, and then be patient. Patient is very, very key because leadership develop over time. It is not something that just open uh, overnight, but with persistency and dedication, you will get there. And lastly, be focused. Don't be discouraged. Don't let anything discourage you. Even when I say don't let anything discourage you, don't let even your parents discourage you. Let your focus be on contributing meaningfully to the life of the individual, the community, and the nation.
Thank you very much. So, if you were to say a parting shot on this topic, just for 1 minute, what would it be?
Eh, Just to summarize all I've been saying, which is everything boils down to character and integrity. Character is what you are known for, integrity is what you do. So, character, as I said, is the number one asset of life. You lose your character, you lose everything. Character is something that comes from your inside, not from outside. You are ruled from inside, not from outside. So it must be built into you. Character is consistency of lifestyle, refusal to bend to the system of the world. So if as professional, as individuals, we just maintain our integrity, it could be tough, but if we maintain it, people will subsequently join you. They will follow you. They will tell you that we know you will not agree to our terms. We are ready to agree to your terms. It may be difficult, but just follow suit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We cannot thank you enough for this beautiful insights that you have shared with us on this very important topic that pertains to all of us. We appreciate you highly for all the inspiring contribution, and I'm sure our audience have benefited in what you have shared today. While you were while we were on at the interview segment, we had some people join us. Let me apologize ahead in case if I did not pick your name because the name did not start coming up early enough in the program. But I got some names of those that joined. Femi Jayesimi from Lagos, our colleague. Kola Olaitan also from Lagos is another colleague that you know. Pastor Tope Omage from Abuja, like yourself. Somebody you know, Oyebode from Karuado, Nasarawa. I hope I got that rightly.
Yes,
And
you
I
got it.
believe, okay, and I believe some others, we have some regulars that normally join, but I didn't see their name come up. So I want to appreciate everybody that has joined us today. As a way of wrapping up, I want to say, looking at it from practical ways to lead, if we are thinking of how do we start to lead without necessarily having authority or position, you can start leading from wherever you are right now. And let me just give you five typical steps. Number one, which our guests have also spoken about, take responsibility. You own your action instead of passing the buck. Own your action instead of waiting for someone also to fix things that are going wrong. You also can do that. You can ask, what positive difference can I make here? Wherever you find yourself, you can also do something. Then protect your integrity. You recall that during the conversation we harped on this issue of integrity because it's actually the foundational of leadership. Leadership without integrity is nothing. So integrity may not always bring immediate reward, but it builds a very long time influence and credibility. And we did say, even without authority, you can lead with influence. So the word integrity itself is very foundational and very important in leadership. You also must invest in people, like our guests have said. We need to encourage others by mentoring them. Today, decide to mentor one person, share knowledge, lead with leadership multiplies when people grow. So whatever you know, share it with other people that way, and in return, if they also share with other people, it goes on multiplying, and we have more leaders, more people that are ready to do the right thing. Then speak up. Like I guess said, we need to speak up for what is right. Most times people do not speak up when things are going on around them, maybe for fear of being enchanted or something, I don't know. But we should learn to speak up. Sometimes leadership means having the courage to stand for ethical values. That's why I said, if you don't stand for something, then you can fall for anything. So you need to stand for ethical values even when it is unpopular. Dare to be the person that will be the different person when you know what you are talking about is right, or what you are deciding upon is right. So it's important to also be consistent. It's not that you will be good today, tomorrow you are something else, and people cannot count on you. They can never predict you, what you will do in any situation. So it's important, if you really want to have that influence, leadership by influence, to be consistent. It's not something you can do in one day. Influence is not built in a day, like our guest said. It is built through consistent action over time. So we must be patient with ourselves, and as we look forward to the future of Nigeria that we desire, we must recognize something important. The transformation of any nation begins when citizens accept personal responsibility for leadership. A society where professionals uphold ethics, entrepreneurs operate with integrity, young people pursue excellence, not looking for shortcuts, citizens protect the common good. It's a society that gradually builds strong institutions and lasting prosperity. Title alone cannot achieve this, but influence and integrity can. So my closing reflection is for us to see leadership not as something that begins when you receive a position. Until you get a position, then I will know how to lead. It doesn't work like that. It should be something that begins when you decide that your value will influence your environment. I think somebody just joined. Kayode Akomolafe, you are welcome. Thank you for joining us. So every Nigerian has the opportunity to lead, including yourself, in the office, in business, in schools, in communities, as well as in our families. And when millions of citizens embrace leadership through influence and integrity, the future of our nation becomes brighter. So I want to once again thank our special guest for doing us proud, for sharing great insights on this topic for us today. I hope the conversation has reminded us that leadership is not reserved for a few people at the top. Leadership belongs to everyone who is willing to live with purpose, like our guest said, responsibility and integrity. And if today's discussion inspired you, please share the message with someone else. As we have said, we grow that way when we share knowledge. Because the more people who understand that leadership goes beyond titles, the closer we move towards the kind of society we all desire. Thank you for joining today. And I say to you that keep doing your own little bit in your own corner and do not wait until you get the authority and title. Our next topic will be looking at the legacy question. Are you building a business or just paying bills? That is very important as we move closer to the end of the first quarter of the year. We need to have a review of our business. So this is where we anchor this program today. If you have enjoyed this program, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Comfort Eyitayo. Once you have subscribed, remember to turn on the notification button, like and share our videos, and stay updated for information of upcoming events, solutions, and offers on my Instagram account at Comfort Eyitayo, as well as my Facebook at Comfort Eyitayo. Till I come your way again, leadership is not defined by the position you hold, but the influence you create. Thank you very much. I look forward to welcoming you on this show again. Continue to lead through integrity, service, and example. God bless you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.